Hello everybody, it's Maikito. I hope everybody's having a good day. I had a good day so far. We brought the robe out. We had a great day. It was due. As always, I'll go over the picks at the end of the video. But hopefully we can do the same thing again. We have another big League Cup slate. If I'm not mistaken, there's not going to be any games tomorrow or I guess for Friday's slate. So I don't think I'm going to have a video. I'll take a look at WNBA, see if there's any games there. But I'm not sure if I'm going to have any. But as always, if I do have any added plays when it comes to these plays, it will be in the pinned comment in this video, either later tonight, but more than likely tomorrow when more lines and lineups in general are out, so I know who plays and who doesn't. But other than that, I'll just get straight into the plays. The first player prop that I found that I like is Emil Forsberg to go higher in 2 shots at home for New York Red Bulls going up against Juarez. You could take a look at his 0.5 shots line, but I know from his averages, he can take 2 shots and not even get a shot on target. So it's up to you if you want to take the gamble at 0.5 shots on target, but I like his shots line. He's averaging 2.03 shots per 90 in the MLS. In 2 games in this cup, he didn't start in the first game. He played 18 minutes against Chivas and scored the winning goal from a free kick. And then he started against Monterrey, pushed with 2 shots. It was an away game for both teams, and that was a tougher matchup. And now they're in a must-win game, and it's at home. And I like the fact that they're playing at home because in the MLS, he goes from averaging 1.5 shots away up to 2.5 at home. He takes that extra shot at home, and at 2.0, I like the line that he'll there's a chance he could push, but at 2.0, I like the line. If it gets bumped up to 2.5, you can't take it, but I just really like it at 2.0. And in Juarez games that they played so far, they've played 4 away games, and on average, in those games, they've allowed 14.5 shots to opponents, which is pretty good. He's a long shot taker. So far this season, he's taken 24 from inside the box and 23 from outside the box. And he's their set piece taker, especially on free kicks. And I mentioned that because Juarez is an aggressive team. They've played 5 games this season, and on average, they've allowed 14.8 times. They have fouled opponents almost 15 times a game. In the 5 games, they fouled 15, 15, 15, 15, and 14. So it's not like one game they fouled 7 times and the next game they foul like 20 something. No, on average they foul opponents around 15 times, and compared that to the MLS, that on average puts them as the second most aggressive teams in the league. So that just means more set piece opportunities for Red Bulls and Forsberg to take those shots. And at 2.0, I like the line and the matchup at home. Emil Forsberg to go higher than 2 shots. And then the second player prop that I found that I like, something I usually don't do, but I like, is Carlos Rotondi to go higher than 1.5 shots for Cruz Azul going up against Colorado. This is a demon play. I usually don't take demons, but I like this play. You can play the 0.5, which would be a safer play if you want to play it safer. Or if you want something at just a normal line, you could take his higher than 1.5 shots assisted, which I was originally gonna take. But once I saw his 1.5 line and at a demon, I just really liked it. He's gone over in all 3 games that he started so far this season. So this has a 100% hit rate so far in 3 games. And then he played off the bench against Seattle, who's a tough defense, played 32 minutes and still took 1 shot. So in my opinion, he would have got that second if he would have started. But he's an overlapping fullback / winger. Cruz Azul usually play in like a 3-4-2-1, and he's one of the wingers. So he plays back on defense, but overlaps and goes to help an attack, which is what I like as well. He's a long shot taker so far this season in the league. He's taken 4 from inside the box, 3 from outside the box, and then last season he did 22 from inside the box and 8 from outside the box. And he's also pretty versatile. Going back to last season, he took 21 shots with his left and 8 shots with his right, and he was averaging 1.9 shots per 90 last season. So he pretty much averaged 2 shots. And the reason why I like this line, not just from his averages and him being a versatile player and all of that, yes, I like that, but he has a great matchup, which is the main reason why I like this play. Because Colorado go from allowing 10.5 shots when they play at home all the way up to 19.7 shots away. That's a really, really big gap, probably the biggest gap in the league in the MLS. And in the first 2 cup games that Colorado played, they played at home, and now they're playing away. They also averaged the 3rd least possession in the MLS. Cruz Azul is a team that loves to play possession. That just means more opportunities for Rotondi, and they're weak at defending the wings, which is where Rotondi plays. So just overall matchup-wise, line-wise, and just the value that you're getting here, I like this line. Again, you can take the 0.5 if you want to be safer, or take the 1.5 shots assisted line if you want a normal line. But at 1.5, I like this play. So Carlos Rotondi to go higher than 1.5 shots. As always, before I get into the money line play, if you guys could just take a second to like the video and comments as well. That's really all I ask for. It's a great way to support the channel. I love reading your guys' support comments, and it helps boost the video out to more people on the YouTube algorithm. So if you would do that, I really would much appreciate it. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe, turn on notifications so you're notified when these videos are out. That way you can make these plays as soon as possible. And I do also let people know in my Discord, which is not a premium, which is completely free to join, in the description. Again, I let people know when I post there, and then there's a lot of knowledgeable people that post their own plays as well, not just in soccer, but MLB, WNBA, esports, literally everything, and people just do it for just the love of gambling. So if you're interested in joining that community, completely free, link for that in the description, and all my links for everything else is linked in the description as well. So I really want to thank anybody and everybody who supports me in any way. I have one money line play. Fingers crossed, potentially day 5. As I'm recording this video, I'm watching the Real Salt Lake game in the background. Day 4 had 2 plays. Inter Miami to not lose. They won the game, so that came through. We just need Real Salt Lake to win their game. And as I'm watching this, 56 minutes in, they're up 1-0. So as long as they can keep the lead, we're on to the final day, which is day 5. I have this slip that you can currently get for minus 151. By the time the game's over, if the play hits, this might be a little more juice or less juice. So hopefully it hits. But I have this for minus 151 in the first play. It's New York Red Bulls plus 0.5 going up against Juarez. This is just essentially that they won't lose. They can draw, they can win, they just can't lose. New York needs to win much more than Juarez. Juarez is pretty much likely through with the draw. Like, all they need is a draw to go through to the next round, while New York will probably be eliminated with the draw. So they need to win much more than Juarez does. And the first 2 games were in tough matchups against Chivas and Monterrey. And while Juarez is in good goal scoring form, this is still the best matchup they've had so far. And New York, in my opinion, have the better offense. New York have the best home offense in the MLS at home, with 31 goals in 12 home games. And this would be Juarez's 5th straight away game. In the previous 4 away games, they've only been able to win 1 of them. They've played so many away games that I like the fact that that's going to probably take into account their tiredness, just their mental strength that they're going to have. And they have not lost in 10 out of 12 home games in the MLS. So that's an 83% hit rate. They need to win more. They're at home, and I just like their team in general better. So I like the New York Red Bulls plus 0.5 going up against Juarez. And then the second play that I have for this slip is Cruz Azul plus 0.5 going up against Colorado Rapids. They got humiliated in the first game, 7-0 against Seattle, but then they followed that up with a 1-1 draw to Galaxy. But both of those teams, Seattle and LA, were playing at home, and Colorado did play the first 2 games at home. I mentioned it in the ML4 Streak play, but now they're playing away from home. First of all, they've conceded 23 goals in 12 away games, which is already pretty high. Colorado could possibly score, but Cruz Azul can easily keep up, if not outscore them. They took 20 shots to Galaxy's 4 whenever they play, Cruz Azul and LA Galaxy. So they were the more dominant team. They just couldn't take advantage of their chances. But again, now they're playing a team like Colorado who's playing away from home. And Colorado, in 12 away games that they've played, they're winless in 10 out of 12. So that's an 83% hit rate for their away games. They also average the 3rd least possession, which I mentioned before. And like I mentioned also, they go from allowing 10.5 shots away all the way up to 19.7. So their weak defense combined to their low possession level, and just combined with Cruz Azul, in my opinion, being the better team, I like this play. I don't see them losing either. Cruz Azul plus 0.5 going up against Colorado Rapids, and I have this for minus 151 for potentially and hopefully day 5 of the ladder challenge. Thank you everybody for watching. Quickly going over last video's picks. I mentioned ladder challenge still to be determined as I'm recording this video. By the time this goes out to you guys in the public, the game should have ended, and we will know, and you will be able to tell by the title. But I'm wearing the robe because we actually swept the player props. We had the 1 on YouTube, and we had the 3 added ones, so that makes them 4. One of them did DMP, so that brings us to 3 plays. But we had Diego Luna to go higher than 1.5 shots assisted. He hit right at halftime. We had Sepulveda to go higher than 2 shots, and Luis Muriel to go higher than 2.5 shots. both added plays that I added, and I also let y'all know in the Discord as well. Both of those hit, so we had a 3-0 sweep when it comes to player props, so we had a great day. And if the money line hits, it'll be a 4-0 day, so fingers crossed we can hit that, and hopefully we can carry on this good momentum going into this slate. And like I mentioned before, I do have any added plays that will be in the pinned comment, so if you do want more plays, keep an eye out for those. But other than that, I hope everybody has a good night, a good day. We can cash out tomorrow.